kidnapping and a hijacking. That's what Argentina's ambassador to Venezuela is calling his country's decision to seize one of Caracas's aircraft.
There is a feeling of injustice among the Venezuelan people. There is still a long way to go regarding the hijacked plane. The process must be carried out intelligently because there are many interests that seek to make this a fight.
Back in June, a Venezuelan cargo plane was grounded in Argentina at Washington's request, and the U.S. claims 5 of the crewmen were Iranians with ties to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Although that's an official Iranian military organization, it was added to the U.S.'s list of terror groups back under the Trump administration. Argentina's courts have since greenlighted the crew to leave, but that decision is now under appeal, and Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro says this is nothing less than theft ordered from abroad.
Is it that the courts of the United States rule in Argentina? That is a Venezuelan asset. We have the ownership papers, and it is an aeroplane that was going around the world providing service.
Behind Maduro are the voices of the Venezuelan people, calling for the plane and its crew to be returned immediately.
We are going to deliver a document to the Argentine embassy, requesting speed in the pronouncement and in the return, not only of the plane, but also of the crew that worthily represents Venezuela.
Telling one government to ground the plane of another and detain its crew is already a controversial and scandalous move. But what's more scandalous is that this is not the first time it's happened. Back in 2013, Washington pulled the same stunt with the president of Bolivia himself.
They said it was due to technical issues, but after speaking to the authorities we found out that there was some unfounded suspicion that Mr. Snowden was on the plane. We don't know who invented this total lie. Someone wants to hurt our country.
Perhaps Washington believes that this is acceptable behavior for a country that calls itself a democracy. But when countries that the U.S. doesn't like do the exact same thing, they get called regimes. Like last year when Minsk landed a plane carrying Roman Protasevich, a so-called journalist with the Western-backed extremist opposition telegram channel, Nekta.
We certainly, since you gave me the opportunity to do this, condemn Lukashenko's regime's ongoing harassment and arbitrary detention of journalists simply for doing their job. This was a shocking act, diverting a flight between 2 EU member states for the apparent purpose of arresting a journalist. It constitutes a brazen affront to international peace and security by the regime.
Geopolitics according to Washington. Democracies land planes when they might be enemies of our state, but dictatorships do it when they might be enemies of theirs.